Good morning, class. My name is Mr. Swinger. I'm about to teach you some high school algebra 1, and we're going to look at systems of linear equations. So let's get into it. Let me share my screen, and here we go. We're going to solve this system of linear equations by the graphing method. All right, so we should already know how to graph, right? We've learned that in previous sections, how to graph. And so we look at our first equation here. Y equals 4x plus 3. And how we graph, real quick, is we plot, this is the y-intercept. Y equals mx plus b, right? We plot the b first. The y-intercept is 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to 3 on the y-axis because that's the y-intercept, okay? And then after we do the y-intercept, we're going to use the slope. And the slope is your m value, okay? So your slope in this case is 4. So if you know slope, if you remember, it's rise over your run. Okay, so it's just a 4. So do I just go up 4 or what do I do? So I always like to go 4 over 1. If it's a whole number or if it's an integer, put it over 1. 4 over 1 is the same as 4, right? And so what that means to me is I rise 4, meaning I go up, I rise a positive 4, I go up. If it was negative 4, I'd go down. And I run means left and right. Rise means up and down, okay? So run positive 1, so that means go to the right. If it was a negative 1, I'd go to the left, right? So, but if we look at our graph, if we rise 4, we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Rise 4 to here. We don't want to guess, okay? We don't want to guess. So what we're going to do instead, we could go up 4 and then over 1, but we're guessing right there, okay? So instead of a positive 4 over a positive 1, what's the same as positive 4 over 1? It's negative 4 over negative 1 because negative divided by negative is a positive, right? And so we're going to do negative 4 as our rise. Sometimes you have to do this. Most of the time you probably don't. Sometimes you do. Okay, because the graph doesn't allow it. All right, so since it's a negative 4 rise, I'm going to go down 4, right? So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm right here. I'm still not done yet. And I go a negative 1 in the run, which means run means left to right. So that means go to the left 1. So I go down for 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I go left 1, and then I put a dot. And that's what slope means, right? Slope is just a ratio of the rise to the run. So if I go down 4, left 1, that's the same as going up 4 and right 1. Okay, that's how steep something is. Okay, then you draw your line. All right, so I'm going to draw my line real quick. And there you go. Okay. All right, now let's do our other line. Okay, so one question will be always, let me try to make that nice. How many solutions are here on this one line? How many solutions? Well, hopefully you would say an infinite amount of solutions. It keeps going up, keeps going down. There's an infinite amount of x's and y's, right? Because those are the solutions to this one equation. Okay, so what does it mean to solve a system of equations? Well, a system means that there's more than one equation, and we're going to solve for both of them at the same time. Well, how can you solve for both of them? Well, what that means is we're going to find a solution that works for both equations, okay? So there's a bunch of solutions for this one, and there's a bunch of solutions for that one by itself. We're going to find the one that makes them both true at the same time. Okay, and so how we do that is we're going to graph. So let's graph the second one, and I'll use a different color here. So negative x minus 2. So negative 2 is your b, is your y-intercept. So go down to, put a dot. Now, negative x means negative 1x. So m in this case equals negative 1. So as soon as I see an integer, actually, okay, that's the same as negative 1 over 1. So that's my rise, and that's my run. So what I'm going to do is start at the red dot, start at a point on my line, go down 1, and then run 1 means positive 1 to the right. So down 1 and run 1. I can go the opposite way. I could go like this, because these two mean the same number, really, right? Both mean -1. I could go up 1. That's my rise. And I could go left 1, up 1, left 1. And notice what happens right here. Okay? I think you can see what happens. Let me draw the line. Okay? And there you go. What you see is they intersect at that point right there, which means they both have that point in common. And what is that point? Left 1, down 1, that point right there. Excuse me. That point right there is -1, comma, -1. And that is your solution to the system. Why? Because it works for both equations. Okay? It works for both equations. Now, if you plug that into both of these equations right here, if you plug that into that equation, plug that in that equation, it works for both of them. All right? So that's our lesson on solving a system of equations by graphing today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, please let me know. All right? Have a good one.